My beloved child, draw near to me and listen carefully, for today I am speaking directly to your heart. You have spent so many days asking for a sign. You have searched through silence, through uncertainty, through long nights filled with questions. You have whispered prayers that no one else heard. You have looked toward heaven and wondered if I was listening. Today, I want you to know that I have heard every word. Before you spoke your first prayer, I knew what was in your heart. Before tears filled your eyes, I knew the pain you carried. Before fear entered your thoughts, I already had a plan for your future. You have been waiting for confirmation. You have been asking, Lord, are you still with me? Lord, do you still have a purpose for my life? Lord, have you forgotten me? And my answer is simple. No, I have never forgotten you. Not for a single moment. When you felt alone, I was beside you. When you felt abandoned, I was holding you. When you thought you had reached the end of your strength, my hand was carrying you forward. Many times you looked at your circumstances and concluded that nothing was changing. You measured your future by what your eyes could see. You measured my work by visible evidence. But my child, my greatest works often happen beneath the surface. While you were worrying, I was working. While you were waiting, I was preparing. While you were crying, I was arranging things that your eyes could not yet understand. You asked for a sign because you wanted reassurance. You wanted certainty that your faith was not wasted. You wanted proof that heaven was still paying attention. This message is your reminder that I have always been paying attention. I saw every sacrifice. I saw every disappointment. I saw every prayer. I saw every moment when you chose to keep believing even though your circumstances gave you every reason to quit. The enemy wanted you to give up. The enemy wanted you to believe that your story was over. The enemy wanted you to think that your waiting season would never end. But I preserved you. I strengthened you. I protected you. There were battles you never saw because I fought them for you. There were dangers you never recognized because I blocked them before they reached you. There were losses that could have destroyed you, yet my mercy stood between you and destruction. My child, I need you to understand something important. The delay was never punishment. The waiting was never rejection. The silence was never abandonment. Everything was preparation. I was preparing your heart. I was strengthening your faith. I was teaching you how to trust me even when you could not see the outcome. Faith grows strongest in seasons where sight is limited. Trust becomes powerful when certainty disappears. Character is formed when circumstances are difficult. And through every challenge, I was building something within you that could never be taken away. Today you may still have questions. You may still wonder how everything will unfold. You may still wonder when every promise will become visible. But hear me clearly. You do not need to know every detail to trust the one who knows them all. I am already standing in your tomorrow. I am already present in the future you fear. I already know how every chapter ends. And because I know the ending, I can confidently tell you that your story is not finished. Your greatest testimony is still ahead. Your greatest breakthrough is still ahead. Your greatest season of growth is still ahead. Do not allow temporary circumstances to convince you that permanent defeat has arrived. What you see today is only one chapter. I am writing the entire book, and the book is not finished. There are blessings you have not yet received. There are doors you have not yet walked through. There are prayers that are closer to being answered than you realize. Many times you asked me why things had to be so difficult. You asked why others seemed to move ahead while you remained in place. You asked why your progress appeared slow. My child, comparison has stolen much of your peace. The path I designed for you was never intended to look like someone else's path. Your timing is different. Your calling is different. Your preparation is different. Your assignment is different. Therefore, your journey must also be different. Trust my process. Trust my wisdom. Trust my timing. I do not rush what must mature. I do not release what would harm you if received too early. I know exactly what you need and exactly when you need it. Continue walking forward. Continue praying. Continue believing. Continue trusting. For even now I am moving in ways you cannot yet see. The season is changing. The door is beginning to open. The answer is closer than you think. And soon you will look back and realize that I was faithful through every moment of the journey. My beloved child, there is something I need you to remember whenever fear tries to speak louder than faith. Fear only sees the obstacle. Faith sees the God who stands above the obstacle. Fear looks at the storm and predicts destruction. Faith looks at the storm and remembers who controls the wind and the waves. For too long you have allowed worry to convince you that your future is uncertain. You have carried burdens that I never asked you to carry. You have spent precious hours imagining worst-case scenarios that never came to pass. How many times have you worried about tomorrow only to discover that I already provided what you needed? How many times have you feared failure only to find that I opened a new path? How many times have you believed you were at the end only to discover that it was actually a new beginning? I have been teaching you something through every challenge. I have been showing you that your security does not come from circumstances. Your peace does not come from possessions. Your hope does not come from people. Your stability comes from me. The world changes. People change. Situations change. But I remain the same. I am the same God who carried you through yesterday. I am the same God who stands with you today. And I am the same God who is already waiting in your tomorrow. That is why you must not allow temporary problems to create permanent fear. The difficulty you face today is not greater than my power. The mountain standing before you is not greater than my authority. The challenge that seems impossible is not beyond my ability. There has never been a moment in history when I lost control. There has never been a situation too complicated for me. There has never been a broken life that I could not restore. And your situation is no exception. You may not see the full picture yet, but I do. You may not understand why certain doors closed, but I do. You may not know why certain people left your life, but I do. Trust that my perspective is greater than your understanding. Many of the things that disappointed you were actually protecting you. Many of the closed doors that frustrated you were actually preserving your future. Many of the delays that exhausted you were positioning you for something better. If I revealed everything now, you would understand why I allowed certain seasons. You would see the danger I protected you from. You would see the blessings I preserved for the right time. You would see the growth that could only happen through waiting. But because you cannot yet see everything, I ask you to trust me. Trust my heart even when you cannot trace my hand. Trust my character even when you do not understand my methods. Trust my promises even when circumstances seem to disagree. For my promises are not based on circumstances. My promises are based on my faithfulness. My child, I know there have been moments when you felt exhausted. Moments when you smiled for others while carrying pain inside. Moments when you encouraged everyone around you while secretly needing encouragement yourself. Moments when you felt responsible for everyone else's needs but unsure who would care for yours. I saw every one of those moments. I saw the sacrifices no one thanked you for. I saw the kindness no one acknowledged. I saw the love you gave when your own heart felt empty. Nothing escaped my attention. Nothing was invisible to me. The world may overlook what you do. People may fail to appreciate your efforts. But I see everything. And because I see everything, I also know exactly how to reward faithfulness. Do not become weary in doing good. Do not allow disappointment to harden your heart. Do not let betrayal convince you to stop loving. Do not let rejection convince you to stop believing. The enemy would like nothing more than to use your pain to change who you are. But I am calling you to remain faithful. Remain kind. Remain compassionate. Remain hopeful. Remain trusting. Not because people always deserve it, but because your identity comes from me, not from their response. You are not defined by how others treat you. You are defined by who I say you are. You are my beloved child. You are chosen. You are valued. You are known. You are deeply loved. Nothing can change that truth. Not failure. Not rejection. Not disappointment. Not mistakes from your past. Not fears about your future. Nothing. My love for you is not based upon your performance. It is not based upon perfection. It is not based upon achievement. My love is rooted in who I am. And because I do not change, my love does not change. There are still dreams inside your heart that you have almost given up on. There are prayers you no longer pray because you became tired of waiting. There are hopes you buried because disappointment convinced you they would never happen. But I tell you now, do not bury what I planted. Do not abandon what I promised. Do not surrender your faith because of temporary delays. What I begin, I complete. What I promise, I fulfill. What I speak, I bring to pass. You may not know when. You may not know how. But you can trust who. Trust me. Continue walking. Continue believing. Continue expecting. For even now I am arranging details you cannot yet see. Conversations are taking place. Opportunities are being prepared. Connections are being established. Paths are being cleared. What appears silent on earth is often active in heaven. What appears delayed in your eyes is often progressing according to my perfect timing. So lift your head. Take a deep breath of faith. Release the burden of needing to control everything. Release the pressure of trying to solve every problem yourself. Release the fear that tells you everything depends upon you. It does not. I am your provider. I am your protector. I am your guide. I am your strength. And I am already working on your behalf. The breakthrough you seek may arrive differently than you expect. The blessing may come through a door you never considered. The answer may appear from a direction you never anticipated. That is why you must remain open. Remain watchful. Remain prayerful. Remain willing to follow wherever I lead. For I am leading you into a new season. A season where fear loses its grip. A season where hope begins to rise again. A season where healing starts to replace hurt. A season where faith becomes stronger than doubt. And when you arrive there, you will understand why I ask you to keep going when everything inside you wanted to quit. You will understand why I asked you to trust me during uncertainty. You will understand why I did not abandon you during the waiting. For every step was leading you here. Every challenge was preparing you. Every prayer was building towards something greater. And soon, very soon, you will begin to see the evidence of my faithfulness in ways that leave no room for doubt. My beloved child, there is another truth I want you to carry deep within your spirit. The battle you have been facing is not only about circumstances. It is also about perspective. The enemy has spent countless hours trying to convince you that what you see right now is all there is. He wants you to believe that your current situation defines your future. He wants you to believe that your disappointments define your destiny. He wants you to believe that your setbacks are permanent. But I tell you today that what you see is temporary. The storm is temporary. The struggle is temporary. The uncertainty is temporary. Even the pain that feels overwhelming right now is temporary. I am eternal. My promises are eternal. My purpose for your life is eternal. That is why you must learn to see beyond the present moment. There were seasons in your life when you thought you would never recover. Yet here you are. There were situations that convinced you everything was over. Yet here you are. There were heartbreaks that felt impossible to survive. Yet here you are. Do you see the pattern? Again and again you thought the story was ending. Again and again I brought you through. Again and again my faithfulness carried you farther than you imagined possible. And what I did before, I will do again. You are not facing this challenge alone. You are not carrying this burden alone. You are not fighting this battle alone. I walk beside you. I go before you. I stand behind you. There is nowhere you can go where my presence cannot reach you. Even in moments when you feel spiritually dry, I am there. Even when your prayers feel weak, I am there. Even when your faith feels small, I am there. My presence does not depend upon your emotions. My faithfulness does not depend upon your feelings. I remain with you whether you feel strong or weak. Whether you feel hopeful or discouraged, whether you feel confident or uncertain, I remain. And because I remain, you have reason to hope. My child, I know that some wounds are still healing. There are memories that still hurt when they return to your mind. There are words spoken over your life that left scars. There are disappointments that still ache beneath the surface. You have tried to move forward, yet certain moments continue to revisit your heart. I understand. Healing is often a journey, but I want you to know that I am working even in those hidden places. I am touching the wounds no one else can see. I am restoring areas of your life that seem beyond repair. I am rebuilding confidence where fear once lived. I am planting peace where anxiety once ruled. I am replacing despair with hope. Do not rush the process. Do not condemn yourself for not being completely healed yet. Growth takes time. Restoration takes time. Healing takes time. But every day I am doing a work within you. Even on days when progress seems invisible. Even on days when emotions feel heavy. Even on days when you question whether anything is changing. I am working. Never underestimate what I can accomplish through small daily transformations. Mountains are moved one stone at a time. Lives are changed one decision at a time. Faith grows one step at a time. Victory comes one battle at a time. And every step you take with me matters. Every prayer matters. Every act of obedience matters. Every choice to trust me matters. Nothing is wasted in my hands. I know there are dreams inside you that seem impossible. Dreams so large that they intimidate you. Dreams that appear far beyond your current resources. Dreams that seem delayed by circumstances you cannot control. Yet remember who gave those dreams to you. Remember who planted those desires in your heart. Remember who created possibilities before you ever existed. I am not limited by what limits you. I am not restricted by what restricts you. I am not defeated by what defeats you. The same God who created galaxies is fully capable of directing your life. The same God who placed stars in the sky is fully capable of opening the right doors. The same God who formed oceans and mountains is fully capable of providing what you need. Nothing is too difficult for me. Nothing is impossible for me. Nothing is beyond my reach. The challenge is not whether I am able. The challenge is whether you are willing to trust. Will you trust me before you see the answer? Will you trust me before the breakthrough arrives? Will you trust me when circumstances appear unchanged? That kind of faith carries tremendous power. For faith is not believing after you see. Faith is believing before you see. And every time you choose faith over fear, you grow stronger. Every time you choose hope over despair, you grow stronger. Every time you choose trust over worry, you grow stronger. You are becoming more resilient than you realize. You are becoming wiser than you realize. You are becoming stronger than you realize. The trials that once threatened to destroy you are now producing strength within you. The storms that once terrified you are teaching you endurance. The waiting that once frustrated you is teaching you patience. And these qualities will serve you well in the season ahead. For where I am leading you, you will need the strength you have gained. You will need the wisdom you have acquired. You will need the faith that has been refined through difficulty. One day you will look back and understand why this season mattered. One day you will recognize how every challenge contributed to your growth. One day you will see that I never abandoned you for a single second. Until that day arrives, continue moving forward. Continue trusting. Continue believing. Continue praying. Do not allow temporary discouragement to steal eternal purpose. Do not allow today's struggle to make you forget tomorrow's promise. Do not allow fear to speak louder than my voice. My voice says you are loved. My voice says you are chosen. My voice says you have a future. My voice says your story is not over. My voice says the best chapters have not yet been written. So rise each morning with expectation. Walk each day with faith. Face each challenge with courage. And remember that I am working in ways you cannot yet see. The miracle may be closer than you think. The breakthrough may be nearer than you realize. The answer may already be unfolding beyond the limits of your vision. Trust me, my child. I have brought you this far, and I will not fail you now. My beloved child, there is something that has troubled your heart for far too long. It is the question of why. Why did it take so long? Why did the answer not come sooner? Why did the road become so difficult when all you wanted was a simple breakthrough? You have carried these questions quietly. Sometimes you asked them out loud. Other times you buried them deep within your heart because you were afraid of what the answer might be. But today I want to speak directly to that place inside you. The delay was never punishment. The delay was never proof that I had forgotten you. The delay was never evidence that your prayers were being ignored. The delay was preparation. You measured the waiting by days, months, and years. I measured it by growth. You measured it by what you had not received. I measured it by what you were becoming. You looked at closed doors and saw disappointment. I looked at closed doors and saw protection. You looked at detours and saw frustration. I looked at detours and saw direction. You looked at silence and saw absence. I looked at silence and saw preparation. My child, if I had released certain blessings too early, they might have become burdens. If I had opened certain doors too soon, you might have walked into places that would have damaged your future. If I had answered every prayer exactly when you requested it, you would have missed the wisdom that only waiting could produce. I know that is difficult to understand, especially when you were hurting, especially when you were tired, especially when you felt like everyone else was moving forward while you remained in the same place. But hear me now. I was never holding you back. I was building a stronger foundation beneath you. The higher the building, the deeper the foundation must be. The greater the calling, the greater the preparation. The larger the blessing, the stronger the character required to sustain it. You asked me for increase. I prepared your character. You asked me for opportunity. I prepared your mindset. You asked me for favor. I prepared your heart. You asked me for breakthrough. I prepared your faith. What looked like delay was actually development. What looked like waiting was actually strengthening. What looked like silence was actually strategy. Many people desire the promise. Few people desire the preparation. Many people want the reward. Few people want the process. Many people pray for success. Few people embrace the lessons that create it. But because I love you, I refuse to give you less than my best. I refuse to rush what needed time to mature. I refuse to allow temporary emotions to interfere with eternal purpose. There were lessons you needed to learn. There was wisdom you needed to gain. There was strength you needed to develop. And through every challenge, every disappointment, every season of uncertainty, I was shaping you. Not to break you, to prepare you. Not to punish you, to position you. Not to destroy your dreams, to make them sustainable when they arrived. My child, I know there were nights when your faith felt exhausted. Nights when you wondered if you should stop hoping. Nights when disappointment whispered that nothing would ever change. Yet somehow you continued. You prayed again. You believed again. You trusted again. You stood up one more time. That persistence was not weakness. That persistence was proof that my spirit was strengthening you. And because you continued walking, even when progress seemed invisible, you are now standing closer to your breakthrough than ever before. Do not underestimate what has happened inside you during this season. You are not the same person you were before the waiting began. You are stronger now, wiser now, more compassionate now, more discerning now, more dependent upon me now. And those qualities are priceless. The world often celebrates quick success, but heaven celebrates transformed hearts. The world rewards appearances, but I reward faithfulness. The world focuses on outcomes, but I focus on character. And your character has been growing through every season. Even when you did not realize it, even when you felt discouraged, even when you questioned whether anything good could come from the struggle, I was producing something beautiful within you. Soon you will begin to see why the preparation mattered. Soon you will understand why certain answers required patience. Soon you will recognize that I was working behind every scene. And when that day comes, you will not regret the waiting. You will thank me for it. Because you will see that my timing was not late. It was perfect. Exactly perfect. Exactly when it needed to happen. Exactly how it needed to happen. Exactly according to the plan I designed long before you were born. So do not fear the future. Do not resent the waiting. Do not question my faithfulness. The same hand that carried you through preparation will carry you into fulfillment. The same God who sustained you in hidden seasons will bless you in visible seasons. The same God who strengthened you in the valley will walk with you on the mountaintop. Trust me. Your delay was never denial. It was divine preparation. Amen.